Stadium. For those that don't know me, I'm Nathan Bombreys, Managing Director of Glasgow Warriors. And it's something that my chairman and I been saying to years at pretty much the start of every game, and we said it again on Saturday afternoon. Here we go again. It's come around very quick. Looking forward to the start of another season. It's fantastic. So many of you have come. These events seem to get bigger and bigger, and tonight's event sold out in about 3 days. So thank you for coming out to hear more about the off-season, the preseason preparation that's taking place here at the club. It's been a really eventful off-season. In fact, I was reflecting on it the other day, and it's probably been the most eventful off-season since we moved to Scotstoun a few years ago. And I'll just give you a quick update before we get into the rugby and the preseason about some of the things that have taken place around the club. First, a big thank you to all of you who are season ticket members. We've again achieved record season ticket sales. If you count all of our sponsors and partners and business club, we'll have over 5,000 season ticket holders this season, which if you're looking at a stadium of 7,300, it's almost 4 every week. Many of you support us. We had to get some, we've expanded our temporary stands this year to increase our capacity. We've added about 500 to 600. So we've gone from last year with standing room, we had 6,800 at the games. And this year our total capacity will be 7,351, which is, it's great. Small incremental improvements to show the growth of the club. We've added a new stand in the northwest corner, which will be used to accommodate all the community groups that come to the games, and it gives us a chance. We have, as you know, we have clubs and schools that play prior to every game here. It gives us a chance to sell some additional tickets to so the whole club can go, because last year it was full all the time and we had to turn some of the clubs away. So that's a great initiative. We've also had to go through a process to apply for planning permission for our temporary stands, and many of you supported that, and I'd particularly like to thank the 16th Warrior Supporters Club, for the official Supporters Club, for all the support you've given us on that process. So as you can see, the stands are up. We still have a ways to go to get our planning permission, but we've got full support of the council, and they really want to see us grow and develop here at Scotstoun. One of the outcomes that we committed to as part of that process was, we said from the outset we wanted to be good neighbors, and we wanted to use that as a chance to learn how we could become better neighbors in the local community. And the main feedback was parking on match day, as it won't be a surprise to you. So we've committed to taking on a season-long campaign to encourage the use of public transport and encourage better parking, more responsible parking, walking, cycling to the ground. So that's something that you'll start seeing probably from the third home game of the season. You'll really start to see that kick on, but it's going to be a very important part of what we do. So I'd ask each and every one of you to help us and try to take some public transport if you can, or encourage your fellow supporters to be courteous to the local residents. They're very important to what we're trying to do long term here at Scotstoun and developing the stadium as we continue to grow the club. Today we had our first training sessions on the new 3G pitch. Fantastic achievement. I think we're going to get a great surface throughout the season. It'll be consistent and will ensure that we're not off to Rugby Park this season. I hope. No, we will. It means we're going to have 14 home games here at Scotstoun and get a really good surface. That was a joint initiative funded through Glasgow City Council, Scottish Rugby and Sport Scotland, and supported by the local athletics clubs here. And it was just fantastic for me to see the players out. We had some real challenges to overcome to make that happen, but I think it's going to be a great asset to the club this season. And then finally, I want to say the team. Tonight's about welcoming some of the new players to the club, hearing about the preseason preparations. I think it's obvious. They gave us something to smile about last week for sure. We had a great week, 2 wins. Great win against Canada, but even better win against Canada. I think Saturday night was probably the happiest as I've seen the players in a long, long time. Maybe that's just bad memories at the end of the season, I don't know, but they were really happy and deservedly so, and really looking forward to the game this week. So that's it from me. Really appreciate you coming down. I'm now going to hand it over. Just one quick congratulations. I think it's a really proud moment that the club has produced the next Scotland coach We should all be proud of that achievement, but we should also be more pleased that it's not until the end of the season. I welcome our head coach, Gregor Townsend.
Thank you. That's very kind. Because it might be my last supporters welcome the new players, I might go on a bit tonight, so if you might have to indulge me a bit. I just want to talk through the format for tonight. I'm going to talk about the squad, introduce the new players who are going to come up here. There's 8 of them. Glasgow legend Al Kellock will then do a Q&A with a couple of those players. Then we're going to look back on last season, baffle you with some stats, talk about what we've done in pre-season, then look ahead to this season. I was making notes last night because it's been a busy few days, obviously a busy time coming back from Galway, about what the message I really wanted to talk about tonight, and I think I speak on behalf of all the coaches. The key thing is we love this team, we love this club. And we believe this team is capable of something really special. We've seen glimpses of it. We saw a glimpse of it at the weekend. We've seen it over the last couple of seasons, but we really believe in this group. And with the new players that have added this year, we think that this could be a fantastic year for us. So just want to touch on a couple of things about the squad. It's a 45-man squad currently. You never know if that might increase over the next few weeks. We had 17 full-time and part-time players last year that either left or retired. Obviously, it was a big squad for the World Cup last year. 8 new players have signed up. Within that group of 45, 34 are full test players. I think that's a tremendous achievement. The club has still got a huge number of international players. 4 academy graduates have came through our academy, and obviously the BT National Academy system that are linked to us, and I think that's been an average over the last 4 or 5 years, and 4 or 5 academy players have made that grade and got into pro contracts. Some of them got into playing for Scotland already. So within our current squad we have 13 players that have came through the academy, so it's great that the people can come through the system in Glasgow and in Scotland and make it to the highest level. We're delighted with the whole squad, with the players that have graduated from the academy, with the new players we've brought in, and we're looking forward to the impact they can have. Last year we were in the Grosvenor for this event, and it was just after the World Cup that we delayed it because some of our new players had joined after the World Cup, and I remember introducing them that night and thinking back what an impact these players could make. Well, from a supporter's point of view, I think you really enjoyed the impact some of those players made. You voted supporters player of the season to Simone Favaro, a new player, and he just won that vote in the last couple of hours of the votes that were counted, because the runner-up was Sila Puafisi, who was another new player. So it's a challenge to our new players that the guys integrated really well last year. They worked really hard. They won the hearts and minds of the supporters by the way they put their body on the line for their teammate and for the club, and it'd be great for this group of players to do the same and more. Okay, they're right down at the back, but we're going to bring them in one by one. I have their photos on a slide. So first of all, we'll start with the youngest player who's played for us already, played throughout the World Cup last season, Scotland under-20 captain, now full pro, Scott Cummings. Next up, another player who's graduated from the academy, played some crucial games for us last year, has worked really hard in pre-season. That's hooker James Malcolm. Another academy graduate, He came over from New Zealand, was one of the best players in the BT Premiership last season, had a very good debut for us against Leinster, and played really well in the pre-season games down at Harlequins, also at Canada. Nick Gregg. Next player is a fellow Kiwi of Nick's. He came over on trial during the Six Nations, and he's in a partnership contract with Glasgow Hawks, playing standoff and fullback, Hagen Schult. There's a recurring theme here. Another Kiwi, this time a bit more experienced, a World Cup winning All Black, tremendous experience with some great clubs. The Crusaders and Toulouse were delighted when he decided to make the move over to Glasgow. He's working really hard in pre-season and had made a good impact off the bench the weekend. Corey Flynn. I think for a few years we'd signed a lot of Fijians, but now that it seems New Zealanders and Italians seem to be the flavour of our signings. We have another Italian. He's an international player, played very well for us against Zebra over the years, played in our last 3 games, 2 pre-season games, and had a great competitive debut for us at the weekend, Leonardo Sarto. Two more. So these were done by order of arrival at the club. The guys that came out pre-season. Someone who has really impressed us with the impact he's made in the games. He had a really good World Cup for Namibia. Played really well against the All Blacks. Stole a couple of lineouts. Very hungry to improve here. Chui Uanivi. Finally, we can't have a season without signing a Fijian. So we have got a Fijian in, Nemia Kenatali, who's often in competition with Nico. We remember Nico, of course, for Fiji. Played a lot of times for Fiji. Really experienced, very good scrum half in terms of the skills of getting the ball away, the work rate, and obviously has the Fijian flair of playing games. Let's give a big welcome to our final signing, Nemia Kenatali. All right, even bigger round of applause for Al Pellick, please.